It's not over until I win. That's the rule, the driving force. Life tests us, but I refuse to let it end until I emerge victorious. It's not over until I win, because I know deep inside that this is how life works, my friends. Life has this funny way of putting us through a grinder, testing us, seeing if we're serious, seeing if we're really dedicated. But you know what? You never let it end until you win. You hold with a fierce tenacity, and you do not let go until victory is yours. See, life's not meant to be easy. It's meant to challenge you, push you, stretch you, pull you, and sometimes even break you a little. It's a test, a constant, relentless test of your willpower, your endurance, your character. But the measure of a person's strength is not how well they can avoid these obstacles. It's how well they can confront them, fall to their knees if they must, and get back up again, every single time. It's not over till I win. This, my friends, is the mindset that will change everything for you. Life is a marathon filled with obstacles. And when I say obstacles, I mean hurdles, ditches, pits of despair, and sometimes even moments where the path just disappears. You look around and wonder where to go, but you do not give up. No, that's when you adapt. That's when you look for a new direction, a new approach. Because the road to success is not a straight line. It's winding, it's twisted, it's full of turns you never expected. It's full of dead ends. And sometimes you even end up going backward before you move forward again. But that's what makes it worthwhile, giving it a deeper meaning. The challenges make success sweeter and add value to the journey. You know, if it were easy, everyone would be successful. If it were easy, everyone would be living their dream life. But it's not easy, and thank goodness it's not. It's the very difficulty of it that gives success its flavor. It's the late nights, the early mornings, the sweat, the tears, the failures. That's what makes it meaningful. That's what gives you the confidence to say, I earned this. And listen, you're going to get knocked down. There's no way around it. You're going to have moments when the weight feels unbearable. You're going to feel like the world is against you, that nothing is working, and you're going to feel exhausted. Mentally, physically, spiritually. But hear me when I say this. It's not over until you decide it's over. It's not over until you decide you're done fighting. It's not over until you win. It's not over until every last drop of your potential is squeezed out, until you've given everything you have and you've risen again to your feet. It's that kind of resolve that changes the game. Now, I'm not talking about winning in the usual sense, standing at the top of the mountain with everyone cheering your name. Winning isn't about applause. It's not about medals or accolades. It's about knowing deep within you that you gave your best. You gave everything you had. It's about knowing you faced every obstacle, every challenge, every fear, and you didn't back down. It's about conquering yourself, the inner demons, the doubts, the fears. The real victory is internal, and that's the victory that matters. Think of a farmer. You plant the seed, you water it, you nurture it, and then what? Nothing happens, at least not at first. But that's because the work is happening under the surface. Roots are forming, growing deeper, establishing themselves. And if you just keep at it, if you keep watering, keep nurturing, even though you can't see anything above ground, one day you'll see a sprout. You'll see the result of your effort. It's like that in life. So often we want the results before we've given the effort, and that's just not how it works. You've got to keep showing up, keep giving, even when you don't see any return yet. Even when everyone around you says it's a waste of time. You've got to believe in the power of your persistence. There's a law at work here, a universal law, the law of sowing and reaping. You reap what you sow, my friends, and you cannot cheat the process. If you sow effort, determination, and persistence, you'll reap success. But you've got to stay in the game. You've got to keep going until you win. Because every seed planted is a promise, and every effort you put forth is an investment. You have to trust that those seeds will sprout in their time. And here's something to remember. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to have faith. Faith that your efforts matter. Faith that every step forward is progress, even if it doesn't look like it in the moment. And faith that, no matter how hard it gets, there is a reward waiting for those who refuse to give up. You've got to trust that every difficulty is making you stronger, every setback is setting you up for something greater, and every struggle is shaping you into the person you need to become. When I started my journey, I didn't have much. I didn't have money. I didn't have connections. What I did have, though, was the will to learn and grow. I wanted more for myself. I wanted to rise above the circumstances I was born in. And I knew that wasn't going to happen if I sat on the sidelines and watched others live their dreams. I knew I had to get in the game. I had to take risks. I had to fail and learn and fail again and keep learning. I had to decide once and for all that it was not over until I won. No matter how many times I stumbled, no matter how many times I questioned my own abilities, I made a choice to persist. You see, too many people let setbacks define them. They let failure decide for them that it's time to stop. They let doubt creep in, and suddenly they're telling themselves a story about how they're not good enough, or how maybe this dream just isn't for you. But I'll tell you failure is not a signal to stop. It's a signal to keep going. Failure means you're trying. Failure means you're pushing the limits of what's comfortable. And that's exactly what you need to be doing. When you fail, it's not the end. It's simply a lesson. It's feedback telling you not this way. It's easy to look at others and think they've got it all figured out. But trust me, every person you admire, every successful person you see, has gone through times when they doubted themselves, times when they were on the verge of giving up. The difference is they didn't give up. They understood that it's not over until they win. They understood that the journey to success is paved with moments of doubt, with hardship, with sacrifice. But they knew those things were temporary. And if they just kept going, they'd make it to the other side. And so will you. Now there's one thing I want you to do. Think about the last time you gave up on something. Maybe it was a project, a goal, a dream. I want you to think about why you gave up. Did you decide it was too hard? Did you decide it was taking too long? Did you let fear or doubt talk you out of it? Whatever the reason, I want you to ask yourself, what if I hadn't given up? What if I kept going? What would that look like today? And I'm not asking you this to make you feel regret. I'm asking you because I want you to understand that you have more power than you think. You have the power to keep going. You have the power to decide that this time you're not giving up. This time you're seeing it through to the end. This time, it's not over until you win. I want you to make that decision today. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel motivated or ready. Because let me tell you something. If you wait for the right moment, you'll be waiting forever. There's no perfect moment to begin. You create the perfect moment by deciding to start. So start today. Make a commitment to yourself right now that no matter what happens, no matter how hard it gets, no matter how many times you fall, you will keep going. You will win. Not because it's easy, but because it's worth it. Look around you. Look at the people you admire. The people who have the kind of life you want to live, they aren't superhuman. They don't have some magic power that you don't have. They have the same 24 hours in a day as you do. They have doubts, fears, insecurities, just like you do. But they made a decision. They decided that they would not settle for less than their potential. They decided that no matter how many times they stumbled, no matter how many times they fell, and you can make that decision too. But it's not enough just to say it. You've got to back it up with action. Consistent, focused action. Every day, you've got to do something that moves you closer to your goal. Every day, you've got to take a step, even if it's a small one. Because small steps, taken consistently over time, lead to big results. You've got to develop the discipline to keep showing up, even when you don't feel like it, even when it's hard, even when you're tired, even when everything inside you is screaming to take a break. You push forward because you know why you're doing it, and you know that quitting is not an option. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. You can dream all you want. You can visualize, you can plan, you can set goals. But if you don't have the discipline to take consistent action, you'll never get there. Discipline is what separates those who make it from those who don't. It's what allows you to say it's not over until I win and mean it. It's what allows you to persist when the world says it's time to quit. Discipline is your power. It's the force that turns dreams into reality. Now, some of you might be thinking, but what if I've tried and I keep failing? What if I've given my best and it's still not working? Let me tell you something. Failure is not the end. Failure is feedback. It's information that you can use to get better, to adjust your approach, to find a new way. Failure is part of the process. It's not something to be afraid of. It's something to embrace, because every failure brings you one step closer to success. Every failure is an opportunity to learn, to grow, to become stronger. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. Failure is simply the process sharpening you, molding you, preparing you. Think about a child learning to walk. They fall down over and over again, but they don't give up. Just like that child, we as adults must keep trying despite setbacks, because each fall is a step toward mastering what we strive to achieve. Perseverance is key, and every failure brings us closer to success. They don't decide that walking isn't for them just because they've fallen a few times. No, they keep getting up, they keep trying, and eventually they learn to walk. And then they learn to run, and they never look back. That's the kind of determination you need to have. You need to be willing to fall, to fail, to stumble, to struggle, because that's how you learn. That's how you grow, and that's how you win. You've got to be willing to pay the price, because success doesn't come cheap. It requires sacrifice. It requires hard work. It requires perseverance. It requires you to do things that most people aren't willing to do. It requires you to face rejection, to confront your fears, to keep pushing when the path seems uncertain. But the rewards are worth it. The sense of accomplishment, the sense of fulfillment, the knowledge that you overcame the obstacles, that you did what you set out to do. That's worth everything. It's about that moment when you look in the mirror and say, I did it. It's not over until I win. Let that be your mantra. Let that be the thing that keeps you going. Times get tough, because times will get tough. There will be moments when you want to quit, moments when you question whether it's worth it, moments when you're tired and frustrated and ready to throw in the towel. But it's in those moments that you need to dig deep. It's in those moments that you need to remind yourself why you started. It's in those moments that you need to remember, it's not over until I win. You've got to understand that the darkest nights produce the brightest stars. The hardest struggles produce the greatest victories. And let me tell you, you are stronger than you think. You have more in you than you realize. You have the capacity to overcome anything that life throws at you. You have the ability to rise above your circumstances, to break through the barriers, to achieve things that you never thought possible. But you've got to believe in yourself. You've got to believe that you are capable. You've got to believe that you are worthy. And you've got to be willing to fight for it, no matter what. You've got to find that fire within you, the one that refuses to be extinguished, the one that burns through the obstacles. There are going to be people who doubt you. There are going to be people who tell you that you can't do it, that it's impossible, that you're wasting your time. There are going to be people who want to see you fail, who want to see you give up, who want to see you settle for less. But you cannot listen to them. You cannot let their doubts and their fears become your own. You've got to be strong enough to stand in your truth, to keep going, to keep believing, even when no one else does. Even when it feels like the entire world is against you, you must stand strong in your resolve. And here's the thing, when you keep going, when you refuse to give up, when you make that decision that it's not over until you win, something amazing happens. Doors start to open. Opportunities start to present themselves. People start to take notice. Suddenly, things that seemed impossible start to seem possible. Suddenly, the obstacles that seemed insurmountable start to shrink, because the universe has a way of rewarding those who refuse to quit. The universe has a way of rewarding persistence, of rewarding resilience, of rewarding those who are willing to fight for their dreams. You see, life is not just about achieving goals. It's about the journey, the lessons, the transformation that happens along the way. It's about becoming more than you were yesterday. It's about growing, evolving, becoming a better version of yourself. Every single day you have a choice. You can choose to take steps forward, or you can choose to stay where you are. And the thing is, stagnation is a slow death. Life is movement, life is progress. If you're not growing, you're dying, so you must keep moving. Even if it feels like you're moving at a snail's pace, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you're moving. You're making progress, no matter how small. You must be relentless in the pursuit of your dreams. Think about the bamboo tree. It takes years for the bamboo to even show signs of growth above the ground. It takes nurturing, it takes water, sunlight, and it takes patience. For years, you see nothing happening on the surface. But what you don't see is that beneath the soil, it's developing a massive root system that will allow it to grow incredibly tall, incredibly fast when it's ready. And when it does start to grow, it can shoot up several feet in a matter of weeks. That's how life works sometimes. You're putting in the effort, you're nurturing your dreams, and it may feel like you're not getting anywhere. But in reality, you're growing strong roots. And when the time is right, you'll experience that rapid growth. But you've got to stick with it. You've got to believe in the process. You've got to trust that everything you're doing matters, even when you don't see the results right away. There's power in persistence. There's power in keeping your eye on the prize, even when everything around you seems to be falling apart. Because life is full of seasons. Some are fruitful, some are barren, some are filled with joy, and some are filled with hardship. But it's the people who understand the seasons, who accept them, who embrace them, and who keep moving forward regardless. Those are the people who come out victorious. It's not over until I win means embracing the winners of your life just as much as the summers. It means understanding that the barren seasons are preparing you for the fruitful ones. You cannot have the harvest without the winter. You can't skip the struggle. You can't bypass the process. You have to be willing to endure, to persist, to push through. And in doing so, you become the kind of person who deserves the success that is waiting for you. Success isn't something that just happens to you. It's something you attract by the person you become. It's about becoming someone who is relentless, someone who is committed, someone who refuses to back down. And that kind of transformation can only come through adversity. It can only come through the struggle. That's why it's so important to embrace the hardships, to see them not as obstacles, but as stepping stones. And listen, you've got to protect your mind. You've got to guard your thoughts, because what you think determines how you act, and how you act determines the results you get. If you're constantly telling yourself that you can't do it, that it's too hard, that it's not worth it, then that's exactly what you'll get. You've got to replace those negative thoughts with empowering ones. You've got to remind yourself every day, it's not over until I win. You've got to believe that you are capable, that you are worthy, that you have everything you need within you to make it happen. It all starts with how you speak to yourself. Words are powerful, and the words you say to yourself can make or break your journey. When you find yourself slipping into doubt, take a moment and reframe your thoughts. Instead of "I can't do this," tell yourself "I can and I will." Instead of thinking it's too hard, say "This challenge is making me stronger." This is not just a shift in words, it's a shift in mindset. It's about creating a habit of believing in yourself, a habit that will become your strongest tool in the battle against doubt and fear. And trust me, this battle is one worth fighting every single day. Surround yourself with people who lift you up. Surround yourself with people who believe in you, who push you, who inspire you. The people you spend time with have a huge impact on your mindset, on your energy, on your determination. If you surround yourself with negativity, with people who are constantly complaining, with people who have given up on their dreams, it's going to drag you down. But if you surround yourself with people who are positive, who are striving for greatness, who are lifting themselves and others up, you'll find yourself rising to that level as well. You'll find yourself more motivated, more focused, more determined. Not only that, but being around positive people will give you a sense of community and shared purpose. you will realize that you are not alone in your journey. Everyone has their battles, their moments of doubt, but together you can lift each other up. Together you can remind each other of the bigger picture. Together you can remind each other that the journey is not over until you win. You've got to find your reason why. Why are you doing this? Why do you want to succeed? Why do you want to win? Your why has to be bigger than your obstacles. It has to be strong enough to pull you through the tough times. Maybe you want to create a better life for your family. Maybe you want to break the cycle of poverty. Maybe you want to prove to yourself that you can do it, that you are capable. Whatever it is, your why has to be powerful. It has to be something that brings tears to your eyes, that sets your soul on fire, that makes you get up every morning ready to fight, ready to push, ready to keep going. Your why is your anchor when the storms of life start to rage. And here's the truth. You're not always going to feel motivated. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes. It's unreliable. What you need is commitment. What you need is discipline. What you need is the determination to keep going even on the days when you don't feel like it. Because those are the days that matter the most. Those are the days that separate those who succeed from those who don't. Anybody can work hard when they feel like it. Anybody can push forward when they're feeling good. But it's the people who can keep going when they don't feel like it, who can push through the fatigue, the doubt, the discouragement. Those are the people who win. Remember, it's not over until I win, no matter what it takes. No matter how many times I fall, no matter how many times I have to start over, I will keep going. I will keep pushing. I will keep believing. Because I know that deep down I am capable. I know that I have everything I need within me. I know that I am stronger than any obstacle. I know that I am worthy of success, worthy of happiness, worthy of living the life of my dreams. And I know that it's not over until I win. So keep going. Keep believing. Keep taking action. Keep getting back up no matter how many times you fall. Because it's not over until you win. It's not over until you've given everything you've got. It's not over until you've faced every challenge, overcome every obstacle, and reached the finish line. And even then, it's not over, because life is about growth. It's about becoming the best version of yourself. It's about pushing beyond your limits, about constantly striving for more, for better, for greater. It's not over till I win. Remember that? Live by that. Let it guide you. Let it motivate you. Let it be the thing that keeps you going when times get tough. Because you have what it takes. You have the strength, the courage, the determination. You have everything you need to succeed, to win, to live the life you were meant to live. So go out there and show the world what you're made of. Show the world that it's not over until you win. And remember, you were born to do this. You were born to win. And never forget back. Every single setback, every single challenge, every single obstacle is an opportunity for you to become better, to become stronger, to become the person you were meant to be. It's a process, my friends, a journey. And as long as you're still in the game, as long as you're still fighting, as long as you're still breathing, it's not over. Not until you win. Even when the odds seem insurmountable, even when it feels like nothing is working, you hold on. You refuse to let the setbacks define you. You refuse to let circumstances dictate your destiny. You refuse to accept anything less than your potential. Because the truth is, the only person who can decide when it's over is you. The only one who can determine whether you succeed or fail is you. It's your will, your grit, your determination that shapes your destiny. And if you decide that it's not over until you win, then nothing, absolutely nothing, can stop you. Keep that fire alive. Keep that determination in your heart. Life will test you, it will push you, it will try to break you. But remember, it's not over until you win. Every battle, every hardship, every sacrifice will be worth it. When you stand victorious, when you look back and see how far you've come, you will know that every step, every struggle was worth it. The journey is hard, but the rewards are endless. And so with every breath, with every ounce of strength, with every fiber of your being, remember, It's not over until I win.